Hi, I'm going to show you how to do a pelvic tilt exercise. So this exercise gets used in lots of different movement practices like Pilates, somatics, yoga, and it has lots of different benefits to it. It allows you to check in with your core, it allows you to check in with your breath, helps you to loosen and relax off the muscles of the lower back, elongating them, develops better lumbopelvic control, all sorts of different benefits to it. The reason I'm talking about it today is about relaxing the extensor muscles of the lower back. So sometimes these muscles back here can get a bit caught in being tight, contracted, switched on, bringing you into this more forwards tilted movement of your pelvis. So with your tail sticking out. And that can be contributing to back pain if you're not ever managing to switch those muscles off and come into more of a flexed forward bended position. So the pelvic tilt exercise is done lying on your back. Come into lying down on your back on a mat or a comfortable part of the floor. Feet hip distance apart, knees hip distance apart. Just feel the weight of your pelvis sink down into the floor, feel your feet sink down into the floor. Allow your thigh bones to sink down into your hip sockets. Tummy is switched off, calm and quiet. The chest is relaxed, the shoulders are relaxed on the floor, the arms are relaxed on the floor, and the back of the head is relaxed on the floor. Back of the neck is long. So noticing that little space that's between your lower back and the ground, you can always try and put your hand underneath it. Some people's will be really big, some people's will be really small, depending on what kind of position your pelvis is sitting in at the moment. So to start this exercise, we're going to inhale into the tummy, and as you exhale, draw up through the pelvic floor, slightly in through the tummy, and just close down that space between your lower back and the ground. Inhale to relax. Exhale, closing down that space. So if you've got your hand behind your back, you'll be squashing your hand, and then you can take your hand out. And practice just going from inhaling to allow the space to open up. Exhale, draw up through the tummy, up through the pelvic floor, gently pressing the lower back down into the ground, maybe pressing slightly through the feet, drawing the front of the pelvis up and lengthening the tail along away from you. Moving with your breath, so exhaling to tilt backwards, inhaling to come forwards. And you can also picture the back of your pelvis like a clock. So your sacrum is the keystone that sits at the back of your pelvis between the two ilia, the wings of the pelvis. And if you picture that maybe the top of the sacrum is 12 o'clock, so lying on your back, allow your pelvis to roll back to 12 o'clock. And then picture the bottom of the sacrum as 6 o'clock. And you're then going to roll from 12 all the way through the center, all the way to 6. So we'll inhale to 6, exhale, rolling back to 12. Inhale to 6, exhale, rolling back to 12. Inhale to 6, relax everything. Exhale, draw up through your pelvic floor, up and in through your center, rolling back to 12, closing down that space in the lower back. So just noticing how that's happening as you roll back to 12 each time. And when you feel quite comfortable with rolling back to 12 o'clock, you can start to press into the feet a little bit more. Maybe the knees feel like they're going to start to travel down towards the toes, and the tail and the very base of the back starts to lift. So we always inhale to come back to the beginning position, rolling up to 6 o'clock maybe. Exhale, rolling back to 12 o'clock, and then keep going past 12 o'clock so the tail starts to curl underneath. Always drawing up at the front of the body and along and down at the back. Maybe just bring your attention back to your shoulders. Are they relaxed on the floor? Are your arms relaxed? Is your chest relaxed? Is your rib cage down? Is your face and your jaw relaxed? Keep rolling back, pressing gently up and down, and always keeping this sense of lift and curling upwards at the front of the pelvis. So even once you've lifted up off of the ground, the pelvis still has this slight lift to it, tipping backwards. Going up as high as feels comfortable, but probably no higher than about your mid-thoracic region, so about bra strap level. So you're not pushing up into a big extension movement. You're just going to somewhere where you can still keep your pelvis rolled backwards. So moving with your breath, waving up and down. I would repeat this for 1-2 minutes, maybe the length of a favourite song. I felt like a nice piece of music to do it with. Take some time to get used to your breath moving you, and hopefully you'll feel quite different afterwards.